Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope everyone is in good health. So, in which lesson we are? We are in light and shadow. Light and shadow. Already we discussed about the eclipses, isn't it? So, lunar eclipse already we have discussed the lunar eclipse. When the earth comes in the path of the sun, its shadow is created. When this shadow covers the moon completely, then we have a total lunar eclipse. Now here we are going to know about the solar eclipse. I draw the diagram of solar eclipse. See here in solar eclipse, when the lunar eclipse occurs, lunar eclipse occurs on full moon day. Lunar eclipse occurs on full moon day. It occurs on full moon day. Now we will know about the solar eclipse. Here I am drawing sun. The moon comes in between the earth and the sun. The moon comes in between the earth and the sun. Then the solar eclipse occurs. Here see, this is the earth. Here it is moon and this is sun. Isn't it? This is a sun. See this? So here solar eclipse occurs when the sun, the moon and the earth are in a straight line with the moon between the sun and the earth. The moon between the sun and the earth, then solar eclipse occurs. The shadow of the moon, in this case, where it falls? Falls on the earth. It falls on the earth and the people cannot see the sun, isn't it? The people cannot see the sun. So, and if the shadow of the moon completely covers the earth, then total solar eclipse occurs. Total solar eclipse occurs. And if the moon covers only some parts of the earth, then it is called partial solar eclipse and it occurs on new moon day. 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 So eclipse is, once the eclipse is over, moon moves out of the line of the sun, then we can see the full face of the sun again, isn't it? So that, and one should not see the sun directly during the eclipse. We should not see the sun directly during eclipse. Why? Because it damages our eyes. The delicate part of our eye, that is retina, will be damaged if we see directly sun during eclipse, isn't it? So this is about the solar eclipse. There are two types of eclipses, lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse occurs on full moon day and solar eclipse occurs on new moon day, isn't it? The moon comes between the sun and the earth and the shadow of the moon falls on the earth, and when it covers full earth, then it will be a full, what do you call it? Full solar eclipse, isn't it? Total solar eclipse. It is called a total solar eclipse. When some part of the earth is covered by the moon, then it is a partial solar eclipse. It occurs on a new moon day. So this is about the eclipses. Next coming to the artificial satellites. Artificial satellites. Artificial satellites. So see, everyone knows how these telephone conversations or the television programs all around the world what is happening. We are getting the news through the TV channels. Through TV channels and weather forecast also. Weather forecast information we are getting, isn't it? And what is happening in the solar system, this information also we are getting. How we are getting this information? We are getting this information through artificial satellites. Through artificial satellites we are getting. What are artificial satellites? Artificial satellites are man-made objects that moves around the earth and other celestial objects to communicate, that is to predict weather or gather information or research and various other purposes. These satellites are useful, isn't it? Now here we will see Sputnik 1. Sputnik 1 was the first artificial satellite. Sputnik 1 was the first artificial satellite launched by Russia on 4th October 1957. Since then, hundreds of satellites have been launched. Hundreds of satellites have been launched. Now, India also has launched several satellites. Our country also launched several satellites, isn't it? Our country also have launched several satellites. So here, what are here? See, an artificial satellite is a human-made spacecraft which moves around the earth. So communication satellites are there, weather satellites are there, remote sensing satellites are there, isn't it? These are the various types of satellites. Through weather satellites we get information about the weather, prediction you will get it, isn't it? Communication satellites are used for communication through mobile, internet, television, etc. Isn't it? And weather satellites are used to monitor weather and climate of the earth. Remote sensing satellites are used for land survey. It is used for land survey, geography, military, etc. Isn't it? India launched its first educational satellites. India launched first educational satellite, that is what you call it, EduSat. Educational satellite. First educational satellite in the year 2004, September 2004. September 2004. So it is used to send the educational programs all over India, even in remote villages, also. So satellites are also used to study the outer space and increase our knowledge of planets and stars, isn't it? So this is about the artificial satellites which we have discussed here. Okay, children, so here several myths and superstitions are there around the solar and lunar eclipse. See, solar eclipse is associated with war and destruction. Very dangerous. It is believed that Saturn gulps the sun during this time, and so it is a bad omen. People do not work or eat during the eclipses. This is, everyone is following this now also. We are following. Some people also believe that during this period things become impure. Food, water, everything, isn't it? And hence after the eclipse one should take a bath and not venture out during the eclipse period. Superstition. This is called superstition, isn't it? So now, but scientists will not believe for all this. This is a natural phenomenon which occurs. Okay. So here you have learned the scientific reason is there behind the eclipse, isn't it? Scientific reason is there behind the eclipse. So all these are myths. With this the lesson is completed. Thank you children. Have a nice day.